Hello everyone, my name is Manoj and I'm going to present you the two courses that I have took as my elective, and I'm going to share you what I have learned and my reflection on it. So my electives are special topics in AI and special topics IT management, cybercrime. Special topics in AI was focused on using the concept of trust and trustworthiness in artificial intelligence. It explored the design and incorporation of trust models in machine learning algorithms and AI design, and how the concept of trust can factor in the decision making process of entities. In cybercrime, I understood the risks and methods involved in safeguarding the enterprise from a cybersecurity angle, and understood the key terms and basic concepts in cyber law and in cybercrime, domestic both domestically and globally. Special Topics AI. This course introduced us with the concept of trust and artificial intelligence, how trust decisions can be made related to AI, and how we could arrive at a general model of how people might consider trust in AI for specific purposes. I've done two group presentations in this course. The topic we've chosen for our final presentation is trust in malware prediction. It talks about the cybersecurity endpoint and how it can be developed to use behavioral data for obstructing malicious programs instead of identifying them after the fact and needing to undo the harm. This was the first time that general types of malicious programs have now been anticipated to be malicious throughout the operation instead of using a complete activity log file after the fact. There's an added risk connected with malware that targets smartphones due to latest introduction of mobile systems that can run incredibly challenging programs and the growing prevalence of using smartphones in critical applications like finance. And we also explained a machine learning based approach for malware detection which we can take advantage of the greater computing capacity of a host or group of servers. Our method extracts a variety of features and trains a one class support vector machines offline. Due to the restrictions available and the restricted access given to the client, the process of finding the virus poses a different problems. And the model we proposed will be able to solve that. So the trust in machine learning techniques is defined by the classifications that classifies the files in order to deal with all the malware attacks in priority. The trust will be maintained if and only if the discriminated data extracted from the features is to its maximum potential. There are also quite a few challenges when collecting data from the data sets from all the different malware. They might be different unknown malware or the old malware redeveloped. So classifying and clustering these algorithms is difficult and are forced to work in open environments. So to emphasize and research the trust in malware, the detection dataset is evaluated with all the other models with some other key fields. Our main goal in this paper is based on trust while using the open datasets to detect and assess threats and how this algorithm can help machines from getting infected by malware. Based on this procedure, we followed and we split this project into two methods where we concentrated on exploring and processing the data set, which is the main key to training the algorithm in the first part, and in the second part we it is based on the trust in on neural networks. And for the weekly presentation, we spoke about modeling and quantitative verification of reputation systems against malicious attackers, where we spoke how are the trust systems basically designed to harness dishonest entities by computing the trust and reputation scores, how these entities attack the system using misleading behavior rather than breaking the rules. Trust systems typically assign a trust value to each pair of entities by evaluating their direct or indirect experiences, while reputation systems compute a single score for each entity based on the aggregation of all entities' experiences. We propose the method in our presentation which can be used to evaluate and compare the robustness of different RSS against malicious behavior. In this paper, a novel method for formal verification of reputation systems against malicious attackers is proposed. The, the method divides the system into three models, including honest entities, reputation, and attackers. The execution behavior of the model is mapped to the macro decision process MDP, where the system has been evaluated from two aspects. The first one is robustness against a predefined and known attack plan, and the second one is finding the worst possible attack plan. The main concepts I've learned and which I found very helpful and interesting are the concept of trust and how it relates to AI, how trust influences HC relationships and such outcomes, how to integrate an understanding of trust into AI design, how to implement experiments and observations of trust and trustworthiness to illustrate the use of a trust model in making decisions. And now coming to cybercrime, this course introduced us with how to be acquainted not only with the present day social science and industry best practices solutions for combating cybercrimes, but continue to develop technological solutions for dealing with harms caused to property and persons as a result of evolving cybercrimes and online abuses, and also understanding the prevalence of cybercrime measurements issues and the costs associated with it. Ethics in cybersecurity, the fundamentals of cyber law, and present day government concerns. In this course, we have done a group seminar and we were given copyright infringement file sharing peer-to-peer networks, the role of Nutella and BitTorrent as our topic. In that presentation and report, we discussed about MGM versus Grokster case study and how this relates to a similar case study that took place in 1984, which is about Sony Corporation versus Universal City Studios. Moreover, we have explored topics like peer-to-peer networking with few P2P protocols. Examples were algorithm described as part of this report. In addition to that, this report also covers about the laws involved like what is copyright infringement, purpose of copyright, limitations and the history of this law. Lastly, we also examine two similar case studies which would provide us a wide range of understanding and regarding to this case study. As my contribution to this presentation, I've discussed a similar case study which is Facebook versus Oracle copyright issue and discussed four factors of this case and compared it to MGM versus Grokster. Coming to my part of my presentation, I've discussed about Facebook and Oracle, where Facebook copied 11,600 lines of code from Oracle to develop some Android. This case went on for quite a few years, so I've distributed all the facts into four factors which I've presented in my part. So as far as the court's final decision goes, the court assumed and stated that declaring and modifying that code that made up the whole so-called Google API was copyrightable. They even stated that modifying and remastering the copied code is fair use. The fact that programmers and their programs were functional, and if using other codes will help them in innovating and developing new technology, then it is fair use. After the court concluded with its decision, Google re-implemented their user interface. They took the knowledge of what Oracle found out, put it into fair and good use. Most of the jury and programmers felt that it is how innovations are made, and few others believe it is not to be a good practice. Hence, Google copying and modifying Oracle's code did not violate any copyright laws. The main concepts that I've learned and which I found very helpful and interesting are understanding vulnerabilities and best practice controls, the law and business information continuity planning, emerging concerns about cloud security, control system security, and corporate liability, cyber incident prevention, intrusion detection, and analysis. We also had few guest lectures in this course where we got to learn real-time cybercrime experiences and how to deal with it. And I wish we had few more of those guest lectures for this course. So that's it for my presentation, and thank you for this opportunity.